Blavatskyan Theosophy's Concept of the Spiritual Sun by Dave Marsland of Cardiff Theosophical Society. One of the central concepts in Blavatskyan Theosophy is the idea of the spiritual sun, which holds a significant place in the cosmology and spiritual teachings of the Theosophical tradition. Theosophy posits that the sun is not simply physical, but a spiritual being which has consciousness in addition to its own evolutionary manvantara and companion celestial bodies on other planes of the cosmos, as do the planets of the solar system to which the sun gives life. The concept of the spiritual sun has deep historical roots, with parallels found in various ancient religious and philosophical traditions. In ancient Egypt, the sun was revered as a symbol of divine power and spiritual illumination, and the worship of the solar deity Ra played a central role in Egyptian religious practices. Similarly, in ancient Mesoamerican cultures such as the Aztecs and the Mayans, the sun was venerated as a god and was considered essential for the sustenance of life and the spiritual well-being of the people. Helios, the Greek sun god, was often depicted driving a chariot across the sky, bringing light and warmth to the world. In Greek mythology, he was highly revered as a personification of the sun and was associated with power, illumination and vitality. The worship of Helios highlights the importance of the sun in ancient Greek society, as it was seen as a source of life and energy. The concept of Helios as a divine being symbolises the eternal cycle of life, death and rebirth that is often linked to the sun's daily journey across the sky. The Japanese sun god, known as Amaterasu, holds a significant place in Japanese mythology and Shinto religion. Amaterasu is believed to be the goddess of the sun and the universe, symbolising light, warmth and life. She is considered the ancestor of the imperial family and is highly revered in Japanese culture. The story of Amaratsu's retreat into a cave, leading to darkness and chaos until she was persuaded to emerge, reflects the cyclical nature of life and the importance of light and harmony. Overall, the Japanese sun god represents power, renewal and divine presence in the natural world. In Hindu mythology, the sun god is known as Surya, who is revered as the bringer of light and life. Surya is depicted with a golden body and chariot drawn by 7 horses that represent the 7 colours of the rainbow. He is also considered the father of the legendary hero Karna and is worshipped as the supreme deity in the Saura sect of Hinduism. The Gayatri Mantra, a sacred hymn dedicated to Surya, emphasises the sun's role in illuminating the world and dispelling darkness, underscoring the significance of solar worship in Hindu tradition. In the context of Blavatskyan Theosophy, the concept of the spiritual sun draws inspiration from these ancient traditions while also incorporating elements of Eastern and Western esoteric traditions. Blavatsky herself was deeply influenced by Eastern philosophies, particularly Hinduism and Buddhism, and sought to synthesize these diverse spiritual traditions into a comprehensive worldview that could address the spiritual needs of humanity in the modern age. Within the framework of Blavatskyan Theosophy, the spiritual sun is not merely a physical celestial body, but is understood as a symbol of the divine source of spiritual light and wisdom. It represents the higher spiritual principle, the ultimate source of all life, consciousness and creative power in the cosmos. The consciousness and creative power extends to the solar system. The spiritual sun is seen as the innermost reality behind the outer manifestation of the physical sun, and it is associated with the spiritual centre of the universe, the heart of the cosmic order. Blavatskyan Theosophy identifies 3 types of energy emanating to us from the sun. Firstly, there is the physical energy of heat and light, which is a manifestation of Fohat, or cosmic electricity, which sustains the physical universe. Secondly, there is prana, the life energy absorbed in humans by spiritual centres known as the chakras, which sustains life. And thirdly, spiritual energy, which is sometimes referred to as Kundalini. By inner work, Kundalini, from the Hindu and yogic traditions, is said to rise through the body, activating the energy centres known as the chakras. This process is believed to lead to spiritual enlightenment and a sense of oneness with the universe. In the context of Blavatskyan Theosophy's concept of the spiritual sun, Kundalini is seen as a symbolic representation of the inner spiritual journey towards higher consciousness and self-realization. From a metaphysical perspective, the concept of the spiritual sun points to the idea of a transcendent, unmanifested spiritual reality that underlies and sustains the visible world of forms. It symbolizes the eternal, unchanging aspect of the divine, which transcends the limitations of time, space, and material existence. In this sense, the spiritual sun serves as a focal point for contemplation and meditation, inviting the seeker to turn inward and attune to the spiritual light and wisdom that emanate from the heart of the cosmos. In Blavatskyan Theosophy, the spiritual sun is often interpreted in symbolic and allegorical terms, inviting multiple layers of meaning and interpretation. It is associated with the archetype of the spiritual hero or divine saviour who brings light, knowledge and liberation to humanity. The halo, in the Christian tradition, represents the power of the sun behind a spiritually advanced individual. The power of the spiritual sun is seen as a guiding force that illuminates the path of spiritual evolution and leads the seeker from darkness to illumination, from ignorance to wisdom. Furthermore, the spiritual sun is often linked to the concept of the inner sun, or the divine spark within the human soul. Just as the physical sun sustains life and provides warmth and nourishment to the earth, the spiritual sun is believed to nourish and sustain the spiritual dimension of the human being, providing the light of insight, the warmth of love, and the energy of creative inspiration. This allegorical interpretation invites the seeker to recognize and cultivate their inner connection to the divine source, thereby awakening to their full spiritual potential. It is common within Theosophy to celebrate solar festivals and observances which honour the spiritual significance of the sun and its symbolic counterpart, the spiritual sun. These observances deepen the seeker's connection to the spiritual dimensions of existence and to align their consciousness with the evolutionary currents of the cosmos. The concept of the spiritual sun in Blavatskyan Theosophy also has eschatological and cosmological dimensions, pointing to the ultimate destiny of humanity and the evolutionary trajectory of the universe. It is posited that the spiritual sun plays a central role in the process of spiritual regeneration and cosmic renewal, guiding the evolution of consciousness towards higher states of being and ultimately playing a part in the spiritual transformation of the entire cosmos. From a cosmological perspective, the spiritual sun is seen as a symbol of the divine order that governs the harmonious functioning of the universe. It represents the unifying principle that brings coherence and purpose to the myriad forms and phenomena of the cosmos. And it is associated with the idea of a universal spiritual hierarchy that oversees the evolution of consciousness at all levels of existence. In the contemporary spiritual landscape, the concept of the spiritual sun continues to resonate with seekers who are drawn to the mystical and esoteric dimensions of spirituality. Its emphasis on inner illumination, spiritual awakening, and the pursuit of transcendent wisdom speaks to the perennial yearning for meaning and purpose that lies at the heart of the human experience. In summary, the concept of the spiritual sun in Blavatskyan Theosophy offers a rich tapestry of metaphysical, symbolic and spiritual dimensions that invite the seeker to explore the deepest mysteries of existence and consciousness. Its historical roots, metaphysical implications, allegorical interpretations, spiritual practices and cosmological dimensions collectively contribute to a comprehensive worldview that seeks to reconcile the spiritual heritage of humanity with the evolving needs of the contemporary world. Whether one embraces it as a guiding light on the path of spiritual awakening, or engages with it critically and analytically, the concept of the spiritual sun continues to inspire and provoke contemplation on the nature of the divine, the cosmos, and humanity's place within the cosmos.